You ready to come to new? Somebody said if Moreau isn't there, so I'm sorry, but it 100% isn't Tyler. But like, thank you. Yep. Yep.
Yes, sir. We back. New episode, season 5, episode 16. We back in the building. Let's give us a round of applause for being here today. We got the man, the legend, the myth. We got the man, the myth, the legend in the building today. My man JD made a cameo appearance for us today.
Well, I mean, I'm so cameo. I don't even know how to get in the camera.
That is
You
true.
know what I'm saying? But hey, how y'all doing out there today, man? I am in the building. We're right here. I think you got the laptop kind of leaning your way, though. I think
Yeah,
that's what
man,
the
you know
issue
they want to see
is.
the best person in the building, man.
The most handsome is my volume down. I think
It's two. It's two. Right here.
Yeah, I don't got nothing going on right here. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Ain't got nobody going in
Yeah,
right
D
now.
jump in a little
Yep.
bit.
So, hey man. So, yep, we back for another episode of the Arguing Brothers podcast. I'm happy to be in the building. Let me give myself a round of applause for that for making it. I know we're a little late. No, we start this around 3 o'clock or 3:30, but I had a couple of things I had to do.
Yeah, tell us why we late today.
I was out cutting grass this morning, man. I came back from hanging out at the tailgate early, and then I need to finish that yard. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a young struggling homeowner, so I gotta cut my own
Not
grass.
struggling.
I gotta cut my own grass. So I cut my own grass. You know, at first I was paying my brother, but I decided that just ain't gonna work out for me. So I went out there and I cut my own grass, and that's where we're at with this.
So you ain't want to invest in your brother's business?
Well, you know what, man? That was pre car payment.
Free coffee.
so so you gotta sacrifice some planes to build others, right? So when you build others, folks, you have to be smart about it. That is the thing about a life. Like you don't just go and keep adding costs. I mean, that really what makes you poor.
Thanks.
But how you build more wealth for yourself is by strategically moving things around and find out what is most important. And what's most important was not out here having somebody pay for cutting the grass. So I would cut it myself until it gets really cold, and then I would allow it to just sit there and die on its own. But I definitely right now can pay him.
You got responsibilities now.
Got responsibilities, man. So I'm tired of riding the bus. So
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You still could probably take the bus every now and then.
I do it. I mean, I do it to go to the bus on work. We can't park anywhere. But
yeah, you ain't got no parking at y'all job.
Nah, man, ain't no parking. Well, it was the parking permits won't get passed out. So
damn,
yeah, it just made it really tough. But yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot of football that we've been going on, NFL, college, all across the board. The prime effect, everything's going around. It has been a lot of sports going on. So let's start off with the NFL in the Thursday night football game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. 34-28. Philly win. Great game overall. A lot of back and forth, a lot of action. Philly went up 27-7 and then built a lead and came back. So start us off, bro. What was your thoughts on Philly's performance and what Minnesota you do to get out that 0-2 snag they on right now?
Jalen ain't looking the same as he does last year. I'm not sure what's really missing. He just don't have that zip on the ball like he had last year. He's still making plays with his legs. You can see something is just missing from the offense overall because AJ Brown was frustrated with Jalen. They had a little dust up. I think it was like in the fourth quarter.
But it's interesting because Jalen is the godfather, I think, of his daughter. So
I
it
mean,
definitely
hey,
was football related. It wasn't person, but it's
yeah,
definitely football related.
you know, for football, you know, AJ Brown had a monster year in year one with Eagles last year. He was the guy, and he feel like he's just not getting involved like he probably want to. Game one, he wasn't really involved like that, and it could be a combination of Jalen struggling right now.
Or
But
could it be that and I'm I don't mean to cut you off, but this is just us two here. Could it have been that Devontae is now stepping up and you're starting to see what Devontae can give being that number one receiver.
Absolutely.
I mean, that Moss catch he caught in the first quarter, at the beginning of the game was an excellent catch. And then the one he beat the guy on the route and just went over the top. That seems to me that maybe that's what's going on. This guy's now stepping to his own.
Absolutely. And you drafted Devontae Smith, former Heisman winner, to be that guy. And it just, you know, happened that AJ Brown came into play, had a big year last year. And look, they're gonna have to share the ball. Like I think, like I said, I think this is the year where Devontae Smith take that leap and be that alpha A1, AB type receiver. Because at the end of the day, AJ Brown is gonna need him. Right? AJ is gonna get double team. He's gonna get the team's best corner. And to alleviate that, you need Devontae to play ball. But Philly just didn't look well. I mean, they ran the ball well with Swift. And I don't know what happened game one where Swift only got a handful of touches. Dude is electric when he's healthy, but you got to keep him healthy. But Thursday night, he showed that he can still do it when healthy, ran the ball efficiently and with power. But it's just Jalen got to get it going in the passing game. He only threw for like 190-something yards, and half of it went to damn near Devontae Smith. But something missing with Jalen, but I think he'll get it right. Now, Minnesota, bro, they have no running game. Zero.
Yeah.
Zilch. They're going to regret letting Dalvin Cook go. And we know it's probably because of the money. It wasn't because of the performance, but you can't drop back and let Cousins throw almost 40 times a game. It's not a recipe for winning. You need an efficient running game to allow Cousins to be able to get the ball to Jefferson, Hockenson, and Addison and KJ Osborne. But to be 0-2, I think it's because of the lack of running game. When you're trying to throw it as much as you're throwing it, they're not going to win. Plus, their defense is not good enough for them to keep passing, and allowing the defense to stay on the field. And that's what happened in Philly. Their defense is not as good as it used to be. So you have to figure out a way to keep the defense off the field. And you have to have they got to find some type of running game. And I think that's what, bit them in the butt. The defense is just bad. Totally bad. They let Philly run all over them.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I guess running the football, their running defense is not the strongest suit. But when you're looking at the way they just pound them, I mean, we know Philly has an elite offensive line, and they were pushing them with like any way they wanted to go. But in the division where Detroit has a great offensive line, and Green Bay has a great offensive line. I don't know about Chicago just yet, but you're gonna have to really go against that running game. You know how the teams are; they're a copycat league. They see that you can't stop the run; they're gonna continuously pound you every single game. So this is gonna be telling for them. They're already 0-2. Losing to Arizona was Tampa Bay was a slap in the face, right? So now you're gonna have to turn it on when you go and play against these other teams, and it's not gonna be, it's gonna get easier as you go out throughout the season. Yeah, Philly was a tough test. Let's be honest with each other. They're 2-0 regardless of what they've been doing. Jalen, I think having a new offensive coordinator, the play caller has been, something to get used to. Right. So now he's going to have to kind of learn, this offensive coordinator, this style. He was his quarterback coach. That's changed. Yeah. So it's going to get some used to, right? Oh, yeah. But you also got to realize that OC, and I don't understand why Brown got upset, because the OC realized they couldn't stop the run, so he kept running it. You got to run the ball. You take away what the defense gives you. Yep. And he took what the defense gave him. And so for me, that's just more an ingredient of the talent of your team. That you can win in any type of game. But there we go.
No, you can't help it.
But so at this point, I feel like that's where we're at right there. I think we're at the point in this particular game. I mean, in this particular game, we saw a team who couldn't stop the run, and team has one of the best O-lines in football, and they just took over the game. Yeah, they did. And so if you're Philly, you got 10 days, because you have game on Thursday. You have 10 days to get ready for your next opponent. right? You can fix those holes, and then you like the fact that Devontae Smith is getting up early and is getting playing well, so that when because Brown can always turn it on.
Yeah, you know always gonna
He
get
gonna get there. AJ gonna get there, but knowing that you got that number two is already working, ready, playing ball, bro, you're gonna be a strong opponent.
you need it. And I think that's where the elite quarterback step up and make plays, like to make other people better. And that's what Devontae will help that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They'll eventually get there. There's too much talent on Philly's team. Like Goddard could be complaining. Like he's not getting the ball a lot. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody could complain when you feel like you're the guy and you're just not getting it. But the running game was working so good. Dog, you just got to keep running the ball.
And
They
but,
couldn't stop him.
but let's be fair. We don't really know what that discussion was about. It could have been that he was not getting the ball,
Yeah.
or it could have been that he felt like maybe there was a misread here and there. At some point, we can't. I don't want to be unfair to AJ and say that AJ is just talking reckless and he want the ball. It could have been the fact that it was just a situation where maybe he saw something, maybe it's something he thought he should have changed for, and he didn't do it. And you know what I mean? He pointed out, and they kind of went back and forth about it. I feel like it's a very much a fixable situation, but bigger than everything else, they got the win.
Yeah,
The dub is the
I
biggest thing.
don't even think it's an issue, honest. I just think, bro, it's just when you competitive and you feel like you can make a few plays because the game started to get a little tight.
Mhm.
He probably just wanted some look. And I think even the next series, Jalen threw it some like 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah, he
Right,
did.
right. So it's like you knew he wanted the
Forcing
ball.
it at that time.
Yeah, you knew he wanted the ball at the end of the day. And I don't have no problem with the passion. It's just when you become a distraction to the overall team is when there's a problem. But he cares, man. And he feel like he wasn't, contributing like he probably wanted to. So I don't think it's no issue at all.
I agree. All right, let's jump into the ARod injury. That has been all over the news wire as far as like what happened, situationally, like what as far as I know you think you're handsome, man, but you gotta share the camera angle.
You want to be elbow with elbow with me, man?
Nah, I mean,
no love.
the mic is under my knee, so I can't really move my legs here. So I'm trying my best. But let's talk a little bit about ARod's injury. Like what? Let's start that off. Like what initially when you saw it, what was you thinking? We had a text conversation, and I didn't think it was his Achilles.
Yeah.
So what was your first thoughts when you saw him when he went down like that?
When I saw it, it wasn't like he rolled his ankle,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when it looked like you stretch it, you like if you stand up, you stretching your calf.
Right.
It looked like it was a stretch when so I wouldn't have thought it was Achilles, but I knew it had to be something.
Tough because he got up.
He got
Well,
up, stood
up for a second, then he sat down.
Right,
He knew.
Yeah, he knew it was more than just an ankle sprain.
Right.
Right. And but it's a big blow to say 4 snaps into the debut. They had all the hype, hard knocks, and to Louis, it's like a gut punch to the team. But they have a good enough team to where they got to rally around Zach Wilson. But I definitely didn't think it was Achilles, but it's a tough blow for him, man. Being 39 years old, got some, some age on him. But yeah, it's a tough injury, man, and it's going to be a long road back for him. But the great thing about it, he's not a mobile quarterback anymore. He can still move, but I still see him, bouncing back next year. At least by the middle of training camp, he'll probably be back. But it was definitely a tough blow, man. And we talked about like in the preseason, the offensive line just wasn't good, right? But when you're a great quarterback, you help your O line by getting the ball out fast, quick screen, stuff like that to help him out, run the ball. But yeah, I didn't think 4 plays into the game he'd be done for the season. And it said it looked bad because of the way it stretched. But I definitely didn't think it was Achilles though.
Yeah, I didn't think either, man. I mean, Achilles was the farthest thing from my mind. I just figured like some form of ankle injury, maybe a high ankle sprain. But it was such a bad bend. But it was just unnatural.
Yeah.
But normally players can bounce back from those type of bad bends or those type of unnatural movement of your body, and you just bounce back and you get up and you start playing again. How many times we seen LeBron tie his damn ankle up, tie his damn laces up? Yeah. So it's just like it was one of those type of things, and then here we are now, Achilles problem, maybe future issues moving forward, and yeah, it's gonna be tough. He's 39, almost 40. He'll be, I think, 40 when he gets back. So what advantage would he have right now being staying within this staying in the NFL, being the quarterback for the Jets, being coming off of Achilles injuries. Like, what could I mean? I really don't know what we're gonna see this next year when we can see ARod.
Well, the good thing about he still got the arm talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not as mobile as he used to
Well,
be.
great. It's his left ankle, not his right.
Right, the push off.
So the push off, so the plant, but still though, how many athletes have you seen when they get Achilles and they just fall off the cliff?
A lot.
Dan Marino happened to Dan Marino. He was never the same.
Yeah, it's a gruesome injury. It's like I say, the age, he's not going to bounce back like he was old ARod. But I think now with technology, medicine, like I just think maybe a little bit easier recovery to come back from it. But like I said, he's still a phenomenal pocket passer. He got the arm talent. He just may not be able to run like he used to. But I see him bouncing back. I definitely see him bouncing back. And I'm the Jets, I'm hoping because that's the only shot y'all got.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's get into that. Do you think they can still make the playoffs with Wilson as the quarterback? Zach Wilson?
No.
Why not?
AFC too tough. I think what we saw from Miami, we saw from, even though Buffalo let the Jets still get that game, but I think Buffalo will be there at the end. Kansas City, the Chargers. I just think it's the AFC North, Bengals, Ravens, Cleveland. There's too many teams, I think, for the Jets to now make it. Zach Wilson is a shell of himself.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you get him some more experience, and you got playmakers.
I mean, how much
more?
More
He is a number two.
He's in 3.
He is a number 2. Well, last year was a
shit show.
Anomaly, right? He's not. He wasn't great last year, but this year he does. He should have it. Here's a different OC.
Package. Okay.
He's at a different OC.
Yeah.
He should be a little bit more patient. He has different talent around him. He does have the running game. He has a superior defense.
Absolutely.
They are dogs on that side of the field.
They were elite last year. And guess what it was at home?
What they was 7-10
or like that,
like 8-9, something like that.
Something like
but
that.
they elite this year.
Oh, they ball. They got everything you need in the team. They got
they can
1-7. They got the back end. Like they got a complete.
They are elite, bro.
And the only way they make the playoffs, they got to lean on Bryce Hall and Dalvin Cook and get the ball to Gary Wilson any way you can. But he can't turn the ball over. Like that's the recipe to make the playoffs. Defense, run the football, and make some occasional throws. And look, he said that he's trying to copy everything that Aaron Rodgers did. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. It's only one Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you can't play Aaron Rodgers style.
Right, you got to be able to be Zach Wilson and learn from what you've seen with Aaron Rodgers.
Right,
how he prepared for games, how he come into game day, what he's doing, film study. That's what you can take and say, you know what? I'm going to take all that, bottle that up, and play with them myself. But he can't be a gunslinger. He can't be, turning the ball over, right? Playing reckless. They need you. They got nothing else behind you.
Yeah, they got nothing else behind.
They got to lean on the running game and defense. But I just think making the playoffs is going to be it's a mountain to climb. The AFC is just too strong, man.
They have a tough situation, but at the end of the day, man, if Zach Wilson just keep them in games. Just don't turn the ball over. Your defense is either going to make a turnover or keep you in the game.
Absolutely.
They have a defense that's going to keep them in every single game they play against.
His team's not going to just run up the score on their defense. Like that just not going to happen.
Nope.
They're going to be in every single game.
Every game they're going to be in. Yeah. Just don't turn the ball over. Yeah. If you don't turn the ball over, there's a very likelihood that you can win every game.
Yeah.
You're going to be in it. Take the field goal when you need to. Robert Silas play customary football, but you got an opportunity to at least get to the playoffs, right? And then if you don't win the playoffs, 5 months momentum for the next season. If ARod comes back at 89, 90%, that's good. It's good right there.
Absolutely. Like I said, they got a shot, but it's just that AFC so strong.
Yeah, it's loaded.
It's loaded. Even the division, and you can't count out Bill Belichick and the Patriots, bro. Even though I don't think they're gonna do too much this year, but you just can't count on them.
Well, do you think that they, just that type of injury, though? Let's get into the injury really quickly, right? Do you think that injury should maybe make the NFL figure out, like, hey, let's go natural grass, instead of playing on this artificial turf?
I think it's an overreaction. I get it. Like, everybody want to play on natural surface, but I think it may be an overreaction. games are played. Probably a lot of the NFL teams have turf, and you don't see people, tearing Achilles like that. Yeah, you get ankle injuries; it happens, but I just think it's an overreaction. Now, I mean, it's really not on Goodell. People are bashing Goodell in the NFL, but it's on the ownership. Like the owners have to want to change the field and take care of the natural grass and the domes and all that stuff. And a lot of these teams ain't in Arizona. Like Arizona got natural grass that they roll in after being outside all week to get the natural, sunlight and the water and all this other stuff. So not every team can do that.
What team can't do that?
Depending on what climate you're in. It's just like, I'm gonna just have grass and roll it in.
But Arizona's in the deserts.
It's always hot too, right? Natural grass.
But you can take artificial light to generate some of the
true
situations as far as growing grass and things of that nature.
But I just think it's overreaction, bro. And I'm sure. And I played on the field turf when I was in high school. Of course, I ain't no elite athlete where I'm cutting and all that kind of stuff. But, play ball, bro.
You sure, bro? You said it like,
I mean, I was
like, you definitely put in that work on that.
I was in the trenches. I was in the trenches, dog. I was a center, played guard. I was a big guy,
Because I was not in the trenches. So I was not
in the trenches, dog. So I wasn't worried about cutting.
I was worried about cutting. 100%. All right, man. Listen, I gotta cut the certain left, certain right. I gotta cut, but this grass need to be ready. My body need to be ready.
So, would you rather play on turf or would you play on the natural grass?
Being that I've been on both, probably natural grass is better for you. Even when you have a lot of fast twitch, like you want to be on something that can help you. Taking advantage of that.
Okay.
Turf can be. I mean, turf is fast. Most people that get on turf is like fast. Like, but it's sort of like how sprinters adjust to different tracks. Mm-hmm. Right. It's kind of like that logic. Like some tracks are fast, some tracks are slower. Right. You just have to be able to wiggle your body the way you need to, and a lot of times it's cleat placement. Is the depth of your cleats sometimes too, because you're playing and you can play on certain grass is a little thicker. But I mean, listen, there's no direct science to it.
Yeah,
it is really honestly, it's just gonna be honestly, and you just said it just before. It's really about just for him, for ARod, I think it's just him being 39. But for other athletes, like for the running back for the Ravens, I don't know what's going on with his body,
bro. He might retire.
Because he's had I think he tore his ACL.
Tore Achilles.
No, he tore his Achilles.
Oh, yeah.
I think he tore his
ACL last year.
He tore his ACL last year.
Every year he's hurt.
So it's like, that type of J.K. Dobbins. I don't know. For him, I don't know what the issue is. So, it's really just body. And so there's no exact science. And yeah, man, that's where it's at.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, like I said, to go down. And Aaron Rodgers is one of the face of the NFL. A lot of people want to see him. Nobody wants to see him, injured. Nobody wants to see, J.K. Dobbins, tear his Achilles. And the Ravens play on turf as well.
Right.
But in the J.K. Dobbins situation, bro, I know he mentally got to be a wreck. Dog, every year.
Well, listen, here's the thing, right? And I mean, build off what you're stating right there. Yeah, he could be a wreck, but he actually has an example he can follow with Cam. Let's see. I always want to call his last name Myers. It's Cam Sayers, I think it is. The running back for Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, Cam Akers.
Akers, who came back like 10 months later.
Yeah, that is true.
So he has a model.
Yeah, that is true.
He has a model. He can still be explosive. Now, I don't think Cam Akers was explosive when he came back. What I saw him the other day against the Seahawks.
But he still can be back next
year.
But
he can be back next year and can be explosive eventually, right? So that's big.
He'll be with another team, I'm sure.
Well, I think he's still on his rookie deal, right? He's only 2 years in.
They didn't pick up his 4th to 50 option, so he'll be free agent in the offseason. So that's tough coming off of, going into free agency, with the Achilles team.
And I feel like this for the Ravens,
might give him a prove-it deal.
Ravens should help him.
I hope so. It's where you got to see whether teams are loyal to you, but he's not going to get the money if he just stay healthy. That's true. It's unfortunate, man. Definitely, it's unfortunate.
Yep. All right, man, so let's keep going, brother. You saw Josh Allen's performance on Monday Night Football. 3 interceptions, all to Whitehead. Some throws, one interception, I understood. It's like a punt. But the other two were god awful. Your thoughts, man? What's going on with Josh Allen right now?
Turnover machine. It
And we
started.
forgot about the 2 fumbles.
Yeah,
One he collected, one he lost.
he's a turnover machine. I had him last year in fantasy, so I kind of watched a lot more of their games, and it's just frustrating, bro. He almost has like that Brett Favre mentality. My arm is strong. I'm gonna force it in there, dude. The red zone turnovers last year, and it's getting the same again this year. It's on him. Like he's trying to force things that's not there. Like just stop trying to be Superman and making all these plays and making all these. Just make the correct throw and fight to live another down. And since Dabo has been gone, this is what year 2 now. He's taking steps back. And there's no knock to Ken Dorsey, but you can just see he's not the same quarterback as he was when Dabo did. When Dabo was there, you saw progression each year. Josh Allen getting better. We were talking about Josh Allen as an MVP candidate last year. Coming into the season, he could be up for one of the people that could be MVP. But if you continue to turn the ball over and hurt your team, and they got a ton of talent on the team, bro, the boy's a turnover machine now. He's almost Brett Favre Jr. to me. Strong arm, make all the plays with his legs, but he's just gonna force these passes when he don't even have to. Like it doesn't make any sense. In the Jets game, he's just like he cost them the game, even though they were still in it. They went into overtime despite the turnovers, but it wouldn't even been a game if he would not turn the ball over and fumble the ball. It wouldn't even been a game. You wouldn't even put your team in that situation.
I agree. And that's his problem. He is constantly putting his team in bad predicaments. And listen, he has all the talent in the world. He has all the arm talent in the world. But bro, you can't win in NFL strictly off arm talent. You gotta win off of smart plays, playing within the offense, and getting the ball to your playmakers. You got playmakers. You got guys who can make plays on that side of the ball. Get the ball to these guys. You can't keep these situations where you put the team in the basket. I mean, basically, they kept the Jets in the game.
They did.
If he didn't fumble that ball or have those interceptions, they would have won.
Yeah, he definitely screwing up.
They couldn't move the ball at all. So
and then you got to know who's on the other side too. Like Zach Wilson ain't gonna be the one that put up 30 on me.
So all you gotta do, man, just keep playing within the game plan.
Yeah,
and you win that game
easily.
That's simple, man.
Easy. It wouldn't even be of a discussion.
Yep.
But he's just trying to force it, bro. Just trying to be Superman.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, you can't be Superman, bro. You just make the correct plays, bro.
You
gonna
make the
win.
plays you make that you normally make, man, and keep the chains moving.
If you don't have it, throw the ball out of bounds.
Absolutely.
Fight the nipples of it. And then I think too, what hurts them, they don't
have a real efficient running game at all.
At all.
So the last 3 years, we gotta put that in play, right?
The last 3 years, he is the running game.
The running game is obsolete.
James Cook might be something, but I just think they don't focus enough on the running game to even help Josh Allen be more effective.
Right.
He is their running game, and I'm sure taking all those hits takes a toll on you.
It's toll on your body,
right? You know, he's the type of cat. He's gonna lay it on the line. If he got a good 1 yard, he's gonna throw his body there. He's not sliding.
Do you want to be Cam Jr.?
Facts. Ask Cam. Facts. That's a good.
Cam
analogy.
Jr. is the person that you don't want to be Cam out here.
That's a good analogy.
Situationally, out here you can't play no more at the year 10. You're a done deal.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So you don't want
to. He's gonna throw his body around.
You don't want to be that.
So yeah, man, slide. Stop trying to be the hero, but they'll give a better running game. Hopefully James Cook will help him, but Ken Dorsey, they got to call it.
Let me ask you a question. What did you think about when you hear about the rumors about the Buffalo's owner, with the racial comments coming from the Buffalo's owner that's been alleged?
Where there's smoke, there's fire. He said something,
right?
Because people just not just gonna make it up just because.
Mm-hmm.
He said something that got caught, and now they're looking into the NFL. But if it's true, he should lose the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though he has, I think his wife is Asian.
Mm-hmm.
I think even the GM, they got minorities in place.
Yeah, I think the GM is black.
So if it comes out to be true, I don't want to see the NFL slap him on the hand with, a 5-game suspension. Hell, it's the owner. Shit, he just sitting in the box anyway. It doesn't matter. $1 million is like finding someone $1. You're a billionaire. It means nothing. He needs to be losing his team, and that's how you put the gauntlet down to not have these type of situations happen, right?
Right.
And we can't put owners on a different pedestal. If it was a player, it'll be in an uproar. Just because he's a $1 billion owner, he should be treated the exact same way.
And I agree, man. And listen, we all know these type of things do happen, as there have been scenarios that have shown these situations happening. So my thing is, so we're looking at the team. We're looking at they just got a clearance for a new stadium,
and he just got the team like recently.
Yeah, and they got it clear for a new stadium in the dome, a dome at that, which should help with Buffalo because it's so cold and it snows. But at the end of the day, man, like, if there's situations where this is actually fluently happening, then you're correct, man. He should lose the team. It's gonna be hard to prove.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
But if you have a lot of witnesses out there who state that this guy's doing these things, then I agree with you, bro. It should happen.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it play out. You know, I'm sure the NFL gonna do their due diligence and leave no stone unturned.
We hope.
But we'll see.
You hope they do that.
And I think now it's like people are on people's neck when they talk about racism. Like, people ain't letting up no more. And I think that's gonna be the reason why the NFL look into a little bit more deeper. And if they find nothing, cool. It's what it is. At least you gotta do your due diligence.
Absolutely.
But if nobody's just not making this up just because.
Absolutely.
There's smoke, there's fire. Something was said.
We'll see.
That's for sure.
So let's get into our next discussion. You know what it is, NFL.
Now it's time for the Argon Brothers NFL Pickers.
Coaching his son, he on the chain gang right now.
I can't hear it. I can't listen to it. No, we have these mics, headphones to let you know Pick'ems. I can't hear it, right?
But it was said.
But it's NFL Pick'ems time. Ready? Let's get it going. It's just me and you.
I was rolling last week, man. The damn Chargers messing me up for a perfect week, bro.
That's your fault.
Hey, man, Tua went off, boy. Tua looking good.
466.
That ball's looking good.
3 touchdowns on one pick.
He throws look like the easiest catchable football in the league.
Bro, listen.
It just looks so smooth. You know how some quarterbacks throw too hard and it's just hard to catch.
And
it just looks real smooth.
He's always throwing a great ball. He threw a great ball when he was at Bama.
Yeah, he does. He does a great ball.
To all the Bama fans, Tua didn't know how to read coverages until his third year.
Really?
He did not know. If you watch Bama, it was a lot of pre-read, a lot of RPO. That's why when we played Clemson in Georgia, he struggled two of the last 3 games. Go back and watch it. When we played Georgia, he threw 2 picks, had 1 touchdown. He was 10 for 25. Wow. When he played Clemson, you saw that game. He had the pick 6. He threw the other interception. He did not know when cover 3 was coming. But that's a different conversation.
Different conversation.
I just want all the Bama fans to know. That's a good throw. Well, all the Bama fans to know when they talk about Jalen Monroe not being able to read. Him, Jalen Hurts too. All those guys was able to read coverages later in their careers.
But you got to give them that leash, though, right?
You got to let them play so they can understand that when you see that corner peel down, that they're not covering, they're not playing to cover. You can't just have predetermined. They can't do predetermined reads, by the way. And you can't, when that corner peels down, it's cover 3. He's reading you as a robber.
Yep.
He know you're throwing it out. He sat on it.
Yeah.
You have to let that kid learn that. Right? So,
we'll get to it.
Different conversation. Different level. But yeah, NFL Pick'ems. Let's go. Who we got first?
We got Chargers versus the Titans.
I started off. I will go with the Titans in this game.
Boy, you saw the Titans play? Did we last week?
Well, Wisner had 3 interceptions.
Boy, shit show.
Yeah, the 3s against the average defense, above average. This thing's above average defense. I don't think they're great. I think some of the throws he threw was awful.
Yeah,
but
that bitch all the way up.
Clean it up, run the ball with big man a little bit more. Derrick Henry.
I think because he didn't go off. I think this is like history shows like when Henry don't have a great game, they like come back the next game, boy, about 200.
But and I also feel like I watched San Diego's defense. I just didn't see anything I like.
Yeah, they got all the talent. It's something like every year they seem like they
and
got
their head coach is defensive coordinator. He's a former defensive coordinator, so he shouldn't be so poorly played. He shouldn't play so poorly.
He might be without a job. They don't make it.
Yeah, and I don't think he may not make it through the season. Yeah, they struggle. They come out the game 0-2. Okay, next up, who we got?
Chiefs versus the Jaguars.
So, hold on. First of all, you got who?
I got the Chargers winning.
Chargers. Okay, cool.
They're not going on to.
All right, the Chiefs versus Jaguars.
Who you got?
I got Jags in this game.
Okay. I got the Jaguars as well. I think
too much Calvin Ridley.
No, he ball.
Too much Calvin Ridley.
Atlanta. We shouldn't have gave that boy away.
We had no choice.
You had a choice.
We had no choice.
You had a choice.
He did not want to play for the Falcons.
He ain't got no choice.
So yes, he
does.
On
the contract, he ain't no choice.
He did not want to play for the Falcons. So you let the kid here, got his house broken into. I think they robbed him. They broke in his house and robbed him. I had no problem with that kid wanting to go home.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with letting him go.
Or at least to Florida.
But the talent, bro. It makes the Jags.
I watched him.
Level,
he's a stud.
Or a stud.
He's a stud. On that. And my problem with it is, here's the thing that I also felt like when he was in Atlanta. I felt like he felt like when they traded Julio and he ended up being a one. I didn't think he wanted to fit in Julio's shoes. I think he wanted to look at it like, let him be Calvin Ridley.
He should.
And a lot of people thought that, he's going to be just like Julio, but he's not. So when we went, he came in, he was 4-12. We were 4-12 that season. And I remember thinking a lot of stuff like, and I told you, I didn't think it's the number one. Yeah. I was wrong, but it's more or less on the simple fact that I felt like everybody saw Julio, and we all thought the number one is Julio. Yeah. That's what we saw. And so everybody needs to now know that listen, Julio is Julio. Calvin Ridley.
Absolutely.
And we just need an OC who focus on Calvin Ridley. But at the end of the day, man, I'm glad he's happy. Keep balling out. Yeah. Come on, Rig. Keep balling out, boy. Let's go.
Keep your head.
So I got Jags up. You got Jags up. Yeah. We doing it. Jags gonna win. Duval County. Duval.
Stand up.
There you go. Let's go next.
Ravens versus Bengals. We got my man Cool Joe versus my man Lamar.
By the way, folks, if you don't know this, like I said, we record this live. We record this on Saturdays. Since South Carolina just went up 14-3. I should have took the over on South Carolina. I thought South Carolina was going to win this game anyway. I just don't believe in Georgia. Anyway, so, let's go with you said Duval. I mean, we just went from Duval. Now it is Ravens against Bengals. Very good game. Very good one. I like the Bengals bouncing back in this game.
Yeah, I got the Bengals winning too.
Close one. You got the Bengals winning?
Yeah, it's just
I got the Ravens in.
Okay, you going with
I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Going with
in this type of games, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Yes.
Charm City, huh?
Yeah, I don't think if you're gonna pick them, I'm not picking them.
Why you don't want to pick what I got, dog?
Because I do feel like in this game there are some separation here, and I think the Ravens could support some things here. I watched an O-line that looked absolutely dreadful in the last game. So they were dismal. Ravens O-line go to work. Ravens win this game.
I just think I don't see Joe Burrow having two bad games.
81 yards, but he didn't have enough time to throw it at times.
Yeah, I think
14 for 31.
Bad. It was definitely an epic bad performance.
Yeah, when you say LSU, whatever you're going to call it, NFL, you say wide receiver U, DBU. You should say when you talk about Joe Burrow having 81 yards, why didn't you say quarterback you after that game? We didn't hear from you. We didn't hear from you, bro. Crickets. All right, next up, who you got?
We got the Jets traveling to D-Town, Dallas.
I got Dallas.
Woo! You just said the Jets got elite defense.
They ain't got no elite offense.
All right, man. I got the Cows winning as well. I think Dak making enough plays.
Cowgirls win it all. No, we'll win this game for sure.
I got Cows.
All right. Next up, who you got?
We got Packers traveling to Atlanta.
ATL Hope.
ATL.
I got him.
I got the Packers. Jordan Love. Let's go, baby.
Hey, good luck. Hey, that defense is better than what you think they are.
Oh, they got it.
That defense is better than what you think they are. And listen, they are going to have to throw more than 12 times.
Get the ball to Bijan Robinson, please.
You can't just – well, they did give it to him. They tried to. Hey, Ryder, you can check out the plays, bro. If both linebackers pressing the right side of the offense, you can check out and run something else. You didn't have to run that pitch with where they was literally, I'm sitting there watching the game like, okay, he's gonna literally just run this play, and they ran some type of little quick sprint pitch to the running back. He got his clock clean out, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm watching that play like, why in the world would you keep running that play? Like, why would you not get out of it?
Maybe he just ain't comfortable checking out of plays right now.
You're in your second year.
Second year. It's two, right?
Yeah, he's in the second year.
He was in the national championship game against y'all.
No, they were in the semifinals.
That was what, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
That was Bryson, so that was 2 years ago. That was Bryce sophomore year.
Oh, yeah, so it's what year?
Yeah. So it's been 2 years. Let's just make sure that we keep Keller Williams in our prayers as we will be looking to draft him.
And I thought you wanted Shador.
Hey, Shador. If we get Shador too,
I thought you wanted Shador, man.
Keep Shador, folks. Keep Shador and Caleb Williams in your prayers. So keep them healthy. Keep them prayed up. Because
lay them praying hands on.
Because what I saw in game 1, we're gonna need all the prayers we can take to win that game.
Shit look like Spencer Rattler might put his name back in that first round mix.
Hey, Spencer too. Spencer Rattler.
Yep.
Keep all 3 of those guys in your prayers. But we're gonna need them. Because I know that GM gonna be drafting a quarterback in this draft. Next up, who we got?
We got my man Saints versus Panthers on Monday night.
Panthers.
But we know we got the Saints. I don't think Bryce Young did ready yet, man.
Panthers.
They just don't have enough weapons for him.
I got the Panthers.
I like Bryce though. I like Bryce, but I just don't have enough.
I got the Panthers. Saints won't be able to move the ball.
Shit.
You did not move the ball well against the Titans, bro. You did not. No. I think the Panthers got a good defense too.
We'll see.
So
Monday night, we up.
Yep. Who's next?
Commanders versus the Broncos.
I got Denver. Nah, too much going on out there. I got Denver. I got Denver win this game.
Got Denver.
Yeah. Peyton does a good job against Commanders most part.
In Mile High on the road, I'm gonna go with Denver as well. They're gonna cover at home.
If Denver doesn't win this game, I think they're gonna make a quarterback change. So I think Denver win this game.
Shit, who else behind Russell though?
Stidham.
Steady.
Yeah, I think Stidham's behind him.
Man, you might as well just roll with Russell, bro.
Hey, I don't know. We'll see.
He can't go from bad to worse.
It could.
Steady.
Hey, good.
Man, steady.
All right, then. So let's get to some college football discussion. Coach Prime got it popping in Colorado. I think they had Lil Wayne perform today.
Yeah, he gave him the 17 jersey.
Offset
there. Like,
and Offset went from Instagram arguing with old boy with what was Nicki Minaj's husband to on a flight to Colorado while they outside his hotel. I guess
they're waiting for him.
G5. I'm in. Wait, he in the G5 going to Colorado. Going to Denver.
Y'all keep waiting.
Yeah, yo, man. Some of y'all gotta stop. Like, listen. Some of y'all listen, bro. Some of y'all brothers gotta realize we in our 40s.
Thanks.
We're in our 30s and we're in our 40s. And ain't no way in my 40-year-old adult age will I will ever go outside somebody's hotel and wait for them and record myself doing it and talk on it on a live and be like, yeah, we out here. We wait on you all set. That's embarrassing.
Oh, that's lame.
That's lame. That's like I don't know if y'all brothers realize that. I mean, y'all from New York, you're a little different. But to people for the rest of the country, I guess you have somebody from LA, West Coast, you have somebody from Midwest, you have somebody from the South. Well, I'm a Southern guy, I'm from the South, we from the South. Bro, we would look at that and be like, why are you doing this? If my friend told me, bro, I was outside waiting on him, and I said, yeah, I saw that on Instagram. And he was like, yeah, I was out waiting on him, man. I want to see what's up. And I said, yeah, I saw it on the gram, man. Like, I'd be like, well, why was you doing that? Is that what you have to like, right? Why was you outside waiting on? What was you waiting on?
Well, that's like,
why would you record yourself doing it on Instagram? Like, do you just want the issues? Like, do you not want the issues? Like, what was going through your brain when you were making those decisions?
He probably wanted to, show Nikki he down for, he wanted to get the likes on Instagram.
Is being on Nikki's payroll ain't enough?
Hey, bro. He said,
I'm on niggas' payroll. Yeah, we good.
Good for life, dog. You on the payroll.
We good. You all together. Checks running.
Yeah,
checks been running for the rest of your life.
That's probably why
you guys check. Go get yours. Well, you need to be working on getting a second one.
He's trying to
No,
show
you
he
trying to
hard.
be tough, bro. No,
He's
like
trying to be tough. That's all it is.
bro, when you in your 40s, street life is not the same.
Facts.
You either got to be a Colombian drug dealer, or you just gonna be or something in that lane, or you just a street dude looking crazy, waiting to get popped by some young kid.
Like, what did he really think? Like, Offset was just gonna run down out there? Like, bro, what's happening? Like, bro, come on, dog. He making a business decision too.
Absolutely
That's why he was in
zero.
Boulder.
I'd have been in Boulder. I'd been on that flight too.
He probably laughing at that boy.
I probably would have sent the video straight to him. Like, what's that? Are y'all outside still? I'm waiting on y'all. Where y'all at?
I'm outside.
Well, I'm on the plane.
I'm outside. I'm in 30,000 feet in the air.
Come on, cuz. Like, come on, cuz. Like, bro, come on now.
We're getting them in trouble, boy.
Yeah, we seen it 14-3. They just got whacked again. I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna catch the L. They'll catch the L this year. All right, man. So let's talk about Prime. What's going on with Colorado? They got a big, not a big game tonight. But
it's a hype game. But
hype game because the Colorado State coach had something to say about Prime and him just wearing his glasses and when he speaks. And I really didn't understand the point of the comments. But what was your thoughts when you heard it? Like, I mean, for me, you want me to start this off?
Go ahead.
All right. When I heard it, I was just kind of like, man, what is he talking about? like, first of all, you don't. Your mom, your parents treat each other. Your family, every family is different. What your parents teach you is different. And so it's weird to me. People have issues in that lane. All right, so I'll give you an example. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you the greatest example ever, right? And we'll talk about between you and I. We have our own differences, right? I've been around Mama Bella. Mama Bella is different from my mom, right? How she does things, how she thinks things. But that's what makes every family unique. Yeah. Right? Every situation unique. So it's like I've seen the mom on different interviews. She seems very practical. She does not seem like the type of mom that's like does anything out of the norm. She seems like the very mom that raised her kids where she needs the best way she can raise them and has been, and blessed in different factors of life, right? And she just seems chill. She probably looks at Deion like, Deion's a man. Why are you worried about this man wearing shades in interviews, anything that goes on? First of all, by the way, his shades made $1 million in sales.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely brilliant. But why do you care?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about anything that any grown up is doing that does not affect me at all. Yeah. Like, I don't if I'm walking down the street, we talking about something, I'm like, bro, I don't care. Like, if I see somebody doing something and it ain't illegal and anybody get shot myself, like, yo, I'm like, bro, like, why am I worried about that? Like, get out of other people's business.
Facts.
If you want to wear your shades, man, it is what it is.
Do what he do.
It don't bother me at all. You know what I mean? It actually, I'm actually impressed. He got the shades that look like they fit his head perfect.
He probably got them shits custom for real.
And so it's just like he gave his player shades, having a great time. Bro, shut up, man. Like, did you care that The Rock wear his shades everywhere?
Yeah, it's just lame.
Like, just let it go, bro.
I mean, he hyped up the game.
Yeah, and don't get dusted either.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like, bro, to say, I was raised this way, my mama taught, like, now you making an insinuation like his mom didn't teach
She's right between right and wrong.
Right. At the end of the day, Prime is a grown man. His mom could have taught him that, right? Yep. We don't know that. But at the end of the day, we know adults gonna do what adults do. Right. Prime has been doing what he want to do, moving to the beat of his own drum. Let him shine. Let him do whatever he wants to do. If he want to wear shades at night like Diddy, it don't matter. At the end of the day, bro, he just, bad timing because now they're going to get their butt whipped tonight at 10 o'clock. Like, I think Prime, even if they get up big, Prime going to leave his stars in and run it up. Yep. just off GP. But at the end of the day, I just didn't like the part where he threw in, my mom raised me that way. And, like, come on, man, like, stop it, dog. Every mom's different. Every person is different. Just leave it alone, bro. Like, it makes you look bad as an African-American, bro. Like, you talking bad about another black man. It happens all the time, but, like, bro, stop it, dog. Like, yeah, it did bring hype to the game.
Yeah, you get some awareness for Colorado State, because
nobody checking for Colorado State. Now people are like, oh, damn, I didn't know they had an African-American coach.
I didn't either. But I know one thing. I mean, the fact that I just know Colorado Springs. I think it's in Colorado Springs.
Yep.
I know, and my dad was stationed in Colorado Springs, so that's all I really know. I just know that my dad was stationed there before, and that's about it. And Denver has a lovely airport, by the way.
I've never been to them, but I heard it's real nice.
And they sell medicinal things in the airport.
Ooh-wee.
So you can go in and have a great time. If I remember correctly, last time I went
It's
in
one
there.
of the legal states.
Yeah, it's very legal in marijuana. So is DC, by the way, folks. You come to DC, you know, you don't need America. You don't need and Maryland. You know, you can go to the vendor. You can go to one of the businesses locally around here. But yeah, man, I just didn't get it. I mean, I didn't. I mean, there's so much other focus on besides his sunglasses, like his the team, the players, the talent. So yeah, let's get past that. Let's move on for that. Let's dive into the NBA. These new policies.
Let's talk about your team, Alabama, making a quarterback change.
You want to talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, yeah, let's go. You want to start first?
Was it Milrose?
Miro. Out of Texas.
Apologize, messing the guy name up.
Jalen Miro.
Saban benched him after playing 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
He had a rough game against Texas.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Okay.
In favor for the Notre Dame transfer. He played under Reese, the OC at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on the benching? You think it was too quick?
It was actually overaction. 100%. Yep. I mean, if you're watching, folks, we're watching the highlights. I think his name's Buchner.
He's terrible too.
Throwing the ball in the dirt. And I think it was overaction 100%. I really to be honest with you, I really don't understand the point of it. And if I was Jalen Milroe, I would call Coach Kelly at Colorado, who's a DC at Colorado. I would have my family member call Coach Kelly, and I would say, "Hey, listen, is Shador leaving today, next year, the end of the season, or next year?" And I will go and tell Nick Saban, "I'm going to go ahead and get in the transfer portal, save my season, keep your COVID year, and transfer." I think you still can if you stay up on the 4 games. You can stay the season.
I think it's like 6 games now. They up there.
Right, so I would go ahead and transfer.
Transfer, huh?
You don't stay 3 years in the program. He redshirted his first year.
Yeah.
So he's a redshirt sophomore. So he's 3 years as a junior. So at this point, you don't stay 3 years in the program. You've been behind Bryce for 2 years, and it's your turn. Yeah. And somebody gives you 2 games.
Yeah.
And the real arrogance of it all, when it comes from the fan base and from him, I mean, from Nick Saban and the team and the coaching staff, is you pull them, you benching him like Texas wasn't good.
Yeah.
That's the arrogance part of it. That's arrogance, like Texas is not a good team.
Yeah. Like
Shark did not move your defense left to right and went on a 6-minute drive and ended the game.
Yeah.
Right? And here's another thing. I can go all that.
We got time, brother.
So here's another thing. So Marshall's number 17 is a linebacker, right? It was a play where Marshall saw there's a running back in the tight end, and they were playing zone, and I don't know if normal coverage he would take the tight end or the running back. He took the tight end. No, he took the running back. Caleb Downs is already there. So imagine I'm right here, you're right there. You take the running back. I see the running back. I go take him too. The tight end went right up the field.
Right straight the field.
They threw it to the tight end. He went up the field. That pretty much ended the game. And so my thing is he starting? Because unless he's injured, he should not be playing. Is Delcourt starting? Because unless he's injured, he shouldn't not be playing. Is that center you keep rolling the ball to the ground starting? Because he did it 5 times in 2 games. Is he starting?
That's a sweat on his hand, man.
Bruh, you saw when they had 2 false starts because he moved the ball? Is he starting? So he's had 5 fumbles and 2 misread on and false starts. Is he starting?
You see the change in his voice, boy, he hot.
Like I'm watching Caleb Downs, who's the safety. Doug kept peeping in the backfield.
And he's gonna be a stud.
He's gonna be a stud, but is he starting? Because if he's starting, then that means you're telling me you're letting those kids learn on the job.
Yeah.
And yet the quarterback can't learn on the job. This was the type of game you normally, when you have a young quarterback, you have like easable games you can ease him into. Allow him to play a little bit, learn, get his feet wet, and then come out. The fan base cannot compare this kid to Bryce. Bryce was a generational talent.
Facts.
Alabama's only had one first round overall pick. You know what that is?
It's 2, right?
One. You know what that is?
Oh, Kenyon Stabler. No,
No.
Joe Namath, right?
No.
What?
They've only had one.
Well, you talking about quarterback?
First round, first pick.
Oh, first pick. That's Bryce.
That's it.
Yeah.
So even with the quarterbacks they've had, they've never been a first round first pick.
Yeah, Bryce was that dude. He still
Like-
I like Bryce.
And so the same thing with Keith Slater. He wasn't it. 2 was top 5.
Yeah.
And Jay was a second round pick, and but he really honed his craft for Oklahoma. They have never had a quarterback go over. So that means you had a generational talent.
Yeah.
And I'm keep going, and I'll let you go.
Now go ahead, man. You got the floor.
Tommy Reese.
Got to go.
I don't know what he's doing. If you brought this kid over to run your offense, then Nick Saban should fire you today.
Because he didn't beat out Monroe.
Because you didn't beat out Monroe.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, he came in the summer. But here's the problem.
He knew the system.
He knew the system already.
It didn't matter.
So it don't matter if he came in the summer. I don't think people say, oh, he came late. No. He knew the system already. So he knows what people are supposed to be. Right? It's just now just getting the ball to getting the continuity with the players. Right? If what I saw in 1.5 quarters, what you tried to make them tell us, that he was the replacement, then I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna lose 4 games, if not 5. Because this kid has nothing on his ability level that I'm seeing as great. If you're a top level offensive coordinator, you accept that challenge of taking a Jalen Monroe and making him into a Heisman contender.
Thanks.
That's what you do. Don't see they're like, oh, we got to make our playmakers, but we got to get the ball out of our playmakers. He's your playmaker too.
Yeah, he's playmaker.
Why in the world would you take the ball out of his hands to give it to somebody else? Unless he's throwing it to him. It's time for Nick Saban to go.
Think so?
Yes.
Wow. I ain't thinking it's a bombshell, boy. Woo.
It's time, man.
Woo.
It's time.
JD said
I'm
it's
saying
time for Saban to go.
I'm saying it. He still always be the GOAT in my books.
Why is it time for Saban to go?
Because
Elaborate.
He's making rash decisions.
It's because he picked Reese as an OC?
He's making rash decisions that are not there to help the team and players improve.
Is it improve the quarterback or because he's developed a ton of talent at Alabama? Saban.
Yeah, outside of the quarterback. And then the OCs and the quarterback coaches have been the guys who developing the quarterbacks.
Okay.
Think of the OCs we've had.
Y'all had a ton.
We've had
Loxley.
Would you like me to name them?
You had a O'Brien. You had a lot.
We've had Brian Dable.
Yeah.
Right? Dable, Kifflin, Shark, Loxley. Right? Like
O'Brien.
Oh, you talking about Bill?
Yeah.
We had Bill O'Brien. We've had guys who have taken guys and made them Heisman contenders.
That is true. Facts.
What quarterback at Notre Dame did Tommy Reese make a Heisman contender?
Facts.
Right? So at some point, we got to be honest with ourselves. Like, he's making rash decisions. I didn't like the defensive coordinator change. I mean, not the change. I like they change it. But I thought he should went outside of his coaching tree. They should went and got somebody that's young, who's building the defense, and who's looking forward to playing with that type of talent. Right? No, they got whipped on the line against Texas. They had 0 sacks.
And don't get me wrong, Texas has Shark got that thing at Texas rolling.
But no, they had 0 sacks.
I get it. I thought what's number 15 name? The DN.
Dallas Turner.
I thought he would be the guy to take over for Will Ass and be that guy.
No, granted, it's one game. He's had a sack today.
Yeah.
But yeah, against Texas, where was he?
Yeah.
But a lot of that, like a lot of the flanking that was going on, the movement, Shark was moving the boys around. Here's another thing that an old coordinator would do. A great OC. A great OC is going to take the defense and move them left to right. Get them out of place. Shark was running a lot of east and west at the beginning of the game. Started doing to get his quarterback in rhythm. He started running screens, quick outs, quick plays. Getting out there. Then After that, now he's got your defense focused on those. That's when he went over the top. So he kept going over the top on us, bro. Like you, bro. Woo, it's time for Nick Saban, bro.
I never thought JD would say.
It's time to think about what he needs to do with his career. If he
succession plan,
if he loses 3 games this season, or 4 games this season, it may be time for him to go. Wow. Because how many OCs you gonna go through, bro? How many DCs you gonna go through at this point? At this point, it's the system you have. It ain't nothing else left. You can't keep going through OCs and DCs every year.
Yeah, you can't. That's hard to sustain.
Every 2 years, you can't keep doing it, man. Like you can't keep doing that and putting the stress on your team that level. At this point, if they go to another OC or another DC, man, at this point, man, it's him.
But it's because they're having so much success and teams all want that.
Yeah, but that's always gonna be that way. But you gotta you eventually gotta be able to hone in on the type of talent you need to have and the OC and DCs you need to have. Right? You so dependent on that, on making those changes, but you're keeping that system the same. But at the end of the day, I'm just being honest with you. If he can't get this team rolling, whoo, and the whistle got to start. And I know somebody right out there in Boulder that they'll give him $10 million a season.
But just think of Prime. But will Prime have the prime of leeway to do whatever he wants? That would be the question. Listen. Like a lot of these ADs and presidents may not let Prime come to these like a Texas or Alabama, like Ohio, and do what you want.
They let Saban do what he wants. It's gonna look different.
Yeah, it look different. It's more flashy.
It's gonna look different.
It's more flashy.
But if it's effective,
bro, that dog. Just think if Prime get Alabama job, he would leave Colorado so fast.
No, they'll get that boy 10, 11 million.
Prime will be out that bitch tomorrow. Tomorrow, he could talk like, "Oh, I ain't jumping in the NFL," but he'll jump to Bama right quick. Don't get me wrong. Prime has the effect he has, bro, to bring notoriety to a program.
It'll be like the right staff. It'll be like how Saban got there 16 years ago.
Yeah, he's putting the right staff around, right, to develop these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if he stay at Colorado long enough, he's gonna get the talent because people gravitate to him. He's just like a people magnet.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just has that infectious personality where people just gravitate to him. And if he can get the resources like at Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, sky's the limits for dude, though. But I can't believe you saying it's time for the GOAT Saban to go.
If he can't turn this around, man, I think it's time for him to go.
So if he don't turn around, it's time for him to go within 1-2 years?
I think after next year, Shador be gone, then that offer makes sense. Both Sanders kids will be gone. Last Sanders kid is already out the door. He's done at the end of the season. The girl will be close to being a senior. Yeah.
Woo.
You make that move.
JD, I ain't got nothing else to say.
Make that move, bro.
Boy.
We want to end the show on that note, man. I'm good with it.
I talk a little bit of NBA. Season coming up soon. The NBA made the decision to find teams for resting, this whole new resting policy. And, it has gotten out of hand with this whole maintenance and whatever you want to call it. Players sitting out back-to-backs. Players not playing no more than damn near 70 games anymore. So they activated this resting policy where you cannot rest 2 all-star players in the same game. Right? Do you think that policy will work?
Here's the thing. As much as that policy, I hope it will work. What's the outs? Like, what would be contingent on what? If you're saying okay, you can't have 2 superstars out, so does that mean the injury has to be officially
right?
I don't understand the guidelines of what keeps them on the court and what allows them off the court, right? So are they saying that they can't do no more resting? They can't do no more. What is it? And I think that's what the most people don't understand about this rule. Mm-hmm. It's really more what's the outs? It's not I get the notion. Yeah. What's the outs? If the injury's official, that means he can't play.
Yeah.
Or they just can't be we can't rest 2 players at the same time. Right? What's the outs? I don't understand.
This shit not gonna work. Bro, I got a sore ankle. You can't tell me my ankle not sore. You can't tell me I got a
But
sore
you
hamstring.
have to be officially diagnosed,
Right, like team
then
gonna make it They're gonna make it
the question
official.
is, who does the diagnosis? Like, is it the official doctor? Does the NBA provide their own doctor
Right.
to diagnose this? Like,
It's just silly.
how does this align? Like, I really didn't. I understand the nature of it. I don't understand the rules that's going to officiate it.
Yeah.
So to me, it felt like it was forced. But it doesn't feel like it's like rules that people have, but they don't really put everything together.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're really gonna develop the play a little bit later.
Yeah.
But right now, we just don't want you guys to have two players that can sit out at the same time.
And I get it, man. People paying their hard-earned money. You got these kids, their favorite player may not play tonight.
Right.
I get it. Like the NBA tickets are outrageous.
Right.
But at the same time, how can you put something in place where a back-to-back, you can easily say I got a sore ankle or a sore hamstring, my back hurt. Like, how are you gonna say that's not legitimate?
How you gonna provide governance for this?
Yeah, like it's gonna be hard because the team can say the trainer
it.
like, "Oh, we're gonna make it official, so you're not finding me."
Yeah, I don't like. Does it have to be second opinion? Like, I don't. That's the part I didn't really understand about it. Like, what's going to keep people from being able to say, "Well, this is why I feel this way.
Yep.
I'm healthy. I'm not healthy, or I'm not this." What is going to drive that issue, right? And I don't get that part, man. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
It's not gonna work.
I need more information before I can really get my own.
I don't think it's gonna work, no matter how many information, because at the end of the day, you can't tell me my pain threshold of something that's sore.
Before we get out of here, though, we got in a second. What do you think about Mel Tucker? Woo! We didn't talk about Mel Tucker.
It's unfortunate, bro.
How you messed up the bag of $95 million is beyond me.
Say, bro, the power of the P and the power of women it's undefeated.
The crazy part about it is
it's
like,
undefeated.
The wildness of the story. Like, I don't know if they had any physical interaction.
No, I think it's like more harassment. More like, I think that's a red, like he sent text message.
Like vile text messages.
Sexual,
and they're talking the
sexual
phone
content of it.
While he's ejaculating. Like, he said he did it like 20, 30 times.
Jeez Louise.
I didn't understand. Bro, don't you supposed to be coaching? Like, when was this doing the summer?
Might have been.
Like, this had to be.
Might have been in a cooling off.
This is doing the whole season. Like, I don't understand. Like, how do you have enough time to do all these things? Honestly, I don't have enough time in my day to really get those type of things accomplished. Like, whether when you have to work and then you add in like when you get home. And I don't know if Mel Tucker's married or not.
I think he is.
I think he has kids, children. So
at the
like,
end of the day, you find time.
When do you have time for? Like, when do you have time to have all these different interactions?
Yeah,
like of that nature. Like, I don't have time for that.
I mean, he's grown. I mean, we holding him to a.
No, it's the adult conversation that you're having, but the adult conversation you're having at that point, I just don't get. Like, how do you have enough time to have that level of adult conversation that takes physical?
Yeah, and like you said, he didn't put his hands on her.
No,
like it's just more of
it's emotional and mental stress, and he was feeding into that aspect of it. And I think she is a former a victim of sexual violence or something in nature. So I know her. She has a story that comes with it. Yeah. So it was even worse in that opinion because he knew her story. Yeah. But I don't understand how he had enough time in the day. Dude, like, when were you doing this in the office?
Man, listen.
Like when you was in the office doing this,
don't harass her.
You didn't think to yourself, like, you in the office doing this?
And like I said, bro, he fumbled the bag.
95 million. 95 million. At least you get fired on your own. If you get fired on your own.
Fire me because I'm losing.
Exactly.
Don't fire me because I couldn't control myself.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, he had an adult conversation. The harassment part, I don't condone.
When you get fired if you get fired for losing, you get bought out.
Yeah, you get your money. You get your money.
But when you get fired for harassing and doing stuff like that,
he gonna get nothing.
You're literally on this situation where you get fired for cause.
He can fight all he wants, and I'm sure he's gonna probably fight. But he's not winning this case. He got the text trail, too much of that going on. But like I said, I just don't condone the harassment.
Yeah, the harassment
like that. That's the tough part.
The harassment is terrible, but then the fact that 95 million generational money.
Fumbled the bag, Mel Tucker.
Oh, man.
He won't coach on college level again. Unfortunately. Yeah. He gets the donkey of the day, my nigga, like my man Charlamagne the God. He get the donkey of the day.
It's pretty sad, bro.
He get the donkey of the day, bro. Unfortunate, dog.
It's pretty sad.
It is sad. It is sad, bro. Because like I said, Michigan State has some talent, and you know, one of my friend's son was committed to Michigan State. Well, he was definitely gonna go there, but he ended up going to Oregon, and I'm sure he probably like, but I'm glad I'm not under that no more. That whole thing at Michigan State now is a total mess. But yeah, it's not good. And I think they hired the old coach that retired on him in what 2020.
Yeah, I think he just stepped in.
Yeah, he stepped in.
He stepped in because he's still part of the program. So then I think
it's Tony, something like that.
Yeah, so
it's Italian.
Yeah, I think so. I don't want to sound clueless. I don't want to say you speak on that end. But hey, man, that was the last topic of the day, man. I hope y'all enjoyed what we got going on. We talked about a lot of different things.
We had JD in the building.
Yeah, man. Listen. I'll be back in the building more often these days now,
My man.
Maybe this weekend probably too. This coming weekend, then, but next weekend I think
I'm out next week. I am in New Orleans.
What is next weekend?
My boy getting married. So I'm going home on Thursday. I'm in the wedding.
No, I'm actually talking about the date.
Oh, they did like the 23rd?
Next weekend. This coming weekend. This weekend's over actually. But
23rd.
This coming weekend. Okay, 23rd. Yeah, you're out. Yep. So yeah, we probably do it online next week. But then
I'm in the city.
But the following weekend, I'll be here for we'll be online next week. But the next weekend after that, I'll be here. But then the weekend after that is homecoming.
What y'all got for homecoming?
We got Bethune-Cookman.
I say it don't even matter. It's just homecoming.
Man, listen.
I think y'all homecoming the first week in October.
Yeah, it's first week in October.
And we up the next weekend, baby. So you know it's always
it's gonna be nice and hot down there.
I'm at to wear my JD Hoochie Daddy shorts.
I heard they're a hit. You know what I mean? Like apparently at all these high school football games, the Hoochie Daddy shorts are hit, right? Apparently that's from what I heard, from what I was told last night. They're the Hoochie Daddy shorts are the hit, the rage at the high school football game. So
yeah, shout out to Riverdale Baptist.
Yeah, big win
last night.
Last second goal. Overcoming a lot of different things, a lot of obstacles, turnovers, penalties.
Bad quarterback play on both sides.
Yeah.
Coaching is not the greatest, but shout out to Bryce and his team at Riverdale Baptist in Maryland.
Number 20, man. Look out for him, man. He's out there trying.
True freshman.
Freshman.
So his time is coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a good show today.
Absolutely, right. It was good to see Cash, man.
Yeah, definitely see Cash,
man. Can't wait to see you back on that court, my young brother.
Yes, sir. Shout out to you, brother.
I mean, got any final thoughts we get out?
Man, great show, man. Like I said, continue to support us, man. Even though we're into year 5, we still got a lot of room to grow. A lot of things still coming down the pipe. So be patient with us. We're gonna get there, man. Our big break is coming. I just know it. I'm gonna claim it. And we got the #1 podcast in the business, baby.
Yep. Keep checking us out, man. New episodes coming. This episode is coming. The episode is up and posted. Hey, man, keep enjoying what we're doing, bro. We love it. We love doing this. We get it. Take us out of here, Ray.
Let's do it,
Raymond.